play. The Chargers. I feel like I could have put me here because last year you guys beat me up a lot for my Chargers takes and my Herbert takes. And now I come in on the day one of free agency. They didn't even do a lot of things with Attic. And Brew's like, I got them with the Bills and the Ravens as the best team in the AFC. Wild's like, the Chargers are going to be scared.
What were their major moves, though? Because I know
Mike McDaniel.
But it was before. My point is,
and then a healthy line.
We did a free agency show yesterday, and you guys both said, in passing almost, we're picking the Chargers in the AFC West. We're a Chargers show, guys. We're a Chargers show.
Well, then Nick shouldn't be on there because that's not good for Nick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why he was 7, and the Chargers were 7, and Nick 9, whatever he was. Coming in at number 6.
Yeah. So, listen, a bunch of people in the comments section were asking me my feelings on the Chargers and, you know, how they're not making these big splashes and whatnot. There's only so many moves sometimes that a team is going to make and needs to make. Its free agency is not this automatic, it's a mad dash free-for-all. Everyone just go 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 go. And that wasn't the place that the Chargers had found themselves in. I mean, the Chargers, considering what they had to deal with last season, the amount of success that they were able to have was quite remarkable. It was insanely impressive, which is why I celebrated it every single week, which is why I ripped apart any of the takes where it's like, well, they better win a Super Bowl this year. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Or when people danced on their grave when they lost the play in the playoffs and they were like, see, told you they weren't that good. And it's just like the fact that they even had the success that they had, that is the accomplishment. That is insanely impressive and awesome. And now, just by virtue of health and bringing in Mike McDaniel, yeah, that's great. I know people would love to spend money, and get a splash free agent, right? Whether it's on defensive Jalen Phillips, whether it's a Mike Evans, Alec Pierre, you know, whatever it is. And I get that. I really, really do. I really, really do. It's a lot easier to celebrate the concrete moves themselves. It's a lot easier to say, oh my gosh, the Chargers, they just signed Saquon Barkley. That's going to open up all of this and that, and it's really easy to generate hype and excitement around that for sure, and it's a lot you got to work overtime to try to figure out the moves and how good a team can be when they're not making those moves, and that's why I said to someone in the comments, how do you feel about the Chargers pretty much doing nothing, and I was like, wait more until the draft, wait more until those moments. Because it is. Really funny because like I said this and I forget one of my other videos because obviously we're talking all about free agency signings and like free agencies are it's so binary. It's so hot and cold. When teams spend a lot of money in free agency they almost like essentially it never goes well for them. They never win. And so when a team that the media doesn't like spends a lot of money in free agency, they're like, well, it almost never works for a team when they spend, right? But when it's a team they like and they spend money, they're like, oh, look at them. They're spending all this money. They know what they're doing. That's because they're the best team ever. And I find it interesting. I find the way how we morph these. And again, it's always different. A great team can spend a ton of money and a great team can spend no money because the whole thing is like, well, if you're a free agent, like then you're not that valuable, right? Like it's just I try not to get too lost in like the hard rules that people just make up as they go along. I mean, that's really what happens a lot of times. People just make stuff up and just say like this is the way the NFL works. And it's like, well, really? It's like, oh, right. Like, you don't need draft picks. You need draft picks. Anything beyond the 16th or lower for in first round, you don't need that. Like Colin always says that if you got the 18th pick in the draft, you may as well just trade down. And it's just like, yeah, yes, it's really nice and comforting to have these like hard rules that you could just follow, right? You just wake up and you know, 1 + 1 = 2. It's great. You know that it's just plug and play. And we all kind of gravitate towards those things, right? You just know I'm thirsty when I drink water. I'm less thirsty now. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. And in fact, if you're really thirsty and you drink water and you're still really thirsty, like if you're sick or something, you're just like something's not right. And it just like doesn't make sense. You're like, I don't understand. I've been drinking so much water and yet I still feel so dehydrated. My mouth is so dry. Like I think I'm getting sick. And you know, and you're just like, yeah, like that just signals to you like something's not right. Like what's actually happening here? And so we all want things to just be in a nice tight bow. In a nice like cleanly, you know, what's it saying? Tight bow. That doesn't sound right, but whatever it is, tightly bow. I don't know. A nice little bow. And things aren't always like that. And so that's why for teams like the Eagles, the Chargers, etc. And again, I think like a team like because I made a similar video about the Eagles, although I think they're on two different trajectories and different plans right now. Because it's just like I'm more open to the Eagles taking a backward step if that's what they need to do from their roster construction standpoint because of all the money that they had spent to get to multiple Super Bowls and win their Super Bowl. Whereas the Chargers, I'm like, time to take a step forward. It's time. It's time to take a step forward. It's time to get to the divisional round of the playoffs. Dare I say the AFC Championship game. Dare I say the Super Bowl. I have massive hopes, massive belief in Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert. And so like I could not be more excited. And so then right there is the idea of like, oh man, what if they got blank? What if they got and again Rashid Shaheed, Mike Evans, Alec, I'm just trying to think of like random offensive weapons that they theoretically could have signed. Right. And it's just like you'd be really excited about that. You would be able to add an extra name to the list of excitement of what you're doing with some of the moves that you've already made so far. And doesn't always work that way. So, I'll just say for a team like the Chargers, be patient. I don't know if they're top 7 winners of free agency so far. I just seems like Danny just wanted to insert the Chargers there for whatever reason. I'll be honest, I think Jalen Phillips had a better free agency than the Chargers because that boy got paid. So, you know, can't hate the man for getting that money. So, you know, congrats to Jalen Phillips. But, yeah, I'm curious how Chargers fans feel right now because again, I saw some Chargers fans start commenting on other videos and being like, you know, what do you have to say? And again, that's the problem. We don't have a lot of moves. Like I had to realize I was like, oh, I should make an Eagles video. You know, so for some of the teams that aren't making these big moves, it's like, oh yeah, I got to talk about them. Because it's a lot easier to be like Miami Dolphins, Malik Willis, right? And the Las Vegas Raiders are making a ton of moves. The Tennessee Titans spent all day every day. So there are teams that are making moves. The Chiefs are wheeling and dealing. The Rams are wheeling and dealing. The Ravens, the Bills. And so, yeah, it's hard. You know, if you're a team like the Chargers, you're kind of maybe getting a little anxious. You're getting a little antsy of like, wait a second, what are we doing to get better? And so, I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get to some discussions. Let's get some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.